Mr. Mayor, it's now 4:01.
All right, thank you. Will you give me just a moment to get in the queue here? To order.
Good afternoon. This is the Friday, July 22nd special call meeting of the Mayor and City Council, 4 p.m. Roll call for today's meeting. The Honorable Catherine F. Rao, District 1.
Present.
The Honorable Carmelita Gums, District 2.
Present.
The Honorable Helen Z. Willis, District 3. The Honorable J.C. Sebastian, District 4.
Present.
The Honorable Corey A. Reeves, District 5.
Counter 4.
The Honorable Natasha Williams, District 6. Present. And then the Honorable Mayor Khalid Kamau.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Before we begin, this is my phone with the. Before we begin, I do just want to give a special thanks to our City of South Fulton Fire Department. They had no less than 3 very emergent calls in the past 12 hours. One of them was a car crash that I was on the scene at until about midnight. They got there quickly. They provided service. They beat the ambulances there and provided service that has been a great benefit to our city. Grady may not always come when we want them, but the City of South Fulton is always right on time. So thank you for that. And with that, Mr. Clerk, please go ahead and sound the first item.
First item is item 3 on the printed agenda, executive session.
All right. Before we go into executive session, I do have a point of order. Attorney Hyman, will you be serving as the attorney for this executive session?
No, I would be because I've been part of it. I would recuse myself during that part of that session.
Who will be our attorney for the meeting?
You will have this will be, from my understanding, the discussion will be amongst counsel.
Okay, so when we come back out, will there be an attorney? We're going to have an executive session without an attorney. And when we come back out, we're going to make motions or do things. Will you be the attorney at that point? Okay, I'm asking because you're here today, but you were removed on Monday. I have the floor. I'll open it up as soon as we're done, but you did receive a letter of removal on Monday, is that correct?
You sent an email, I think, to counsel and myself, initiating a process is what I interpreted as.
Okay, so it definitely said a removal, but you're saying that your interpretation of the letter is that it was a process.
I'm not going to go into details, but I received what you sent to me, and I think today's session is a result of that.
Point of order.
We're actually in a point of order right now. So I'm going to yield the floor. I just want, I just need to know. I'm going to yield the point of order to Councilwoman Willis.
Point of order. Point of order. One, I would like to state my point of order. When you call point of order, you state what you think is the violation. You don't question. Second point of order. This is involving a personnel matter, so we should be discussing personnel matters in executive session.
The problem is that we don't have an attorney here to discuss the personnel matter. Is our HR director present to discuss the personnel matter?
Point of order. The HR director reports to the city manager.
Madam City Manager, is the HR director here to discuss that personnel item?
She is not.
Okay. I would like for the record to reflect, Mr. Clerk, that we, or the council is about to take a vote to go into executive session without an attorney or the HR director present. I would also like it noted that the HR director has given an opinion that my letter of removal was the beginning of a process. So I would just like it noted for the record that the the city attorney, the city attorney has given an opinion on his own removal for which he has a direct financial interest. And with that, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I move that we amend the agenda.
Second.
I move that we add.
Mr. Clerk, will you, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I move that we amend the agenda to appoint our lost delegation. And we can, to amend the agenda to include it just before the adjournment.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. We are amending a special call meeting. It's my opinion that we can't amend special call meetings agendas. However, we have no city attorney present. So please, Mr. Clerk, please let it be noted that council is amending a special call meeting agenda contrary to the open records laws with no opinion from a city attorney because we have none present. Though we have an entire legal department, there are no city attorneys present today. Go ahead and call the vote.
It's a roll call vote. Motion by Councilmember Willis, second by Councilmember Gum. Appoint lost delegation appointee. Roll call, Councilmember Rao.
Yes.
Councilmember Gums.
Yes.
Councilmember Willis.
Yes.
Councilmember
I'm sorry.
Sebastian.
I'm sorry. We didn't. This is the roll call vote to amend the agenda. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
Councilmember Sebastian.
Yes.
Councilmember Reeves.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Yes.
That motion was approved unanimously.
All right. I will entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I'd like to make a motion for us to go into executive session for personnel and litigation
We got real estate on it.
and real estate.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? I have discussion. I'm going to note again that we're going into executive session for personnel, litigation, and real estate without a city attorney present. The city attorney and members of council via the city attorney have been served with a temporary restraining order. I am, and the people of South Fulton whom I represent are seeking an injunction against this and all future executive sessions and actions of council until we have had a declaratory judgment on several of the issues on which we differ, and we're going to be seeking that from a judge. So I will not be heading to executive session. I believe this is an illegal executive session. I believe that this is happening without a city attorney. And I also want to put on notice to all developers, employees, and anyone else that does business with the city of South Fulton because I am seeking a temporary restraining order, any actions, decisions that are made, any contracts that are entered into or broken during this period may later be challenged and found void in a court of law. So those of you all that are doing business in the city, please govern yourselves accordingly. And with that, I will call the vote.
Are we in discussion?
Oh, yeah, we're in discussion. I heard Councilman Sebastian first. Go ahead, Councilman Sebastian.
I have a question for you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
What is the process for removing the city's attorney?
The
According
process.
to our charter.
Okay, the process for removing the city attorney according to our charter, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up.
Yes, he can. We just got executive session. Don't do this out here. We putting our attorney back in place.
Give me 1 second. I have a paper charter in my car. You might be able to find it faster, Mr. Clerk. Do you want to go ahead and read that section?
Removal of the city attorney?
Yes, I actually have it. Do you have it as well? Yeah. It's okay. I'll read. I'm reading from.
Mr. Mayor, can we have the clerk read it in its entirety, please?
Yes, Mr. Clerk. Yeah, it is Charter Section 4.12, paragraph B.
Yes, I have it here. As stated by the mayor, Section 4.12, City Attorney of the Charter. Section B, the mayor shall have the authority to remove the city attorney for good cause, provided, however, that affirmative vote of 5 members of the city council may prevent the removal by determining that good cause for removal does not exist.
You can continue.
So my question is, are you finished, Mr. Clerk?
Yeah, you want me to, I can read the entire section. If requested by a majority vote of the city council, the mayor should provide in writing the reasons for such removal. Good cause may include but not be limited to the following: incompetence, malfeasance, and malfeasance in office. 2, conviction of a crime involving moral turpitude or a crime punishable as a felony. Failure at any time to possess any of the qualifications of office as provided by the section. Gross misconduct in reference to the duties of the office, or abandonment of office or neglect to perform the duties thereof.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. So, Mr. Sebastian, those are the reasons. I will point out that the second clause of paragraph B does state, provided, however, that an affirmative vote of 5 members of the city council may prevent the removal by determining the good cause for removal does not exist. If there had been so noted in the meeting agenda that you all were going to take an affirmative vote, or I mean, I guess you guys can amend the agenda legally if you want and take an affirmative vote now, but a vote, it would take an affirmative vote of 5 members of council to determine that good cause for removal does not exist. I want to be fair and make sure that everybody is availed of all the options they have.
Are you recognizing the next?
Mr. Sebastian, are you through? Did you have any more questions or anything else to say?
I was finished. I just wanted that clear and made clear to the public and who's in the room. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Councilwoman Willis.
Before I make a substitute motion, I will ask that the clerk, can you please, didn't you mention that we had to request can you read the part where it said the council had to request for due cause for termination? There was a clause where you said that, number 1, it has to be an affirmative vote of supermajority of this council, and then we had to request the mayor to terminate for due cause or give reasons for termination of due cause, because we haven't made any requests. So can you read that part again?
Section B, the mayor should have the authority to remove the city attorney for good cause, provided, however, that an affirmative vote of 5 members of the city council may prevent the removal by determining that good cause for removal does not exist. If requested by a majority vote of the city council, the mayor shall provide in writing the reasons for such removal.
We haven't made any requests. I would like to make a substitute motion to deny removal of our city attorney for due cause and reinstate him effective immediately so that he can preside over our executive session.
I'm sorry, I'm going to ask just for order. We have all of this recorded, so it's fine. It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? I have discussion. I do just want to clarify the if is a conditional statement, which means that it is not a requirement. It says if requested by a majority vote of council, the mayor shall provide in writing. I presumed that the request would be made, and in due diligence, I did provide on July 18th in writing my reasons for cause. So I do just want to make sure that that is in the record. Councilwoman.
I did a substitute motion. There was a second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, please call the vote. And I'm sorry, yeah, go ahead, please call the vote.
Yes, we have a substitute motion to reinstate city attorney effective immediately so they can preside over the meeting today. That was motion by Councilmember Willis, seconded by Councilmember Gomes. Roll call vote. Councilmember Rao.
Yes.
Councilmember Gomes.
Yes.
Councilmember Willis.
Yes.
Councilmember Sebastian.
Yes.
Councilmember Reeves.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Yes.
That motion was approved unanimously.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Please make sure that the record shows that the agenda was amended without notice to
Recording stopped.
reinstate.
Mayor, I move that we go
Please,
into executive session.
Mr. Clerk, I'm going to chair the meeting, and I'm going to entertain a motion in just a second, but I do want to make sure that we have clear instructions for our clerk, especially since the recording seems to be going on and off. Mr. Clerk, please note
Recording in progress.
that the agenda was amended without public notice to take an affirmative vote to reinstate the city attorney. Please also note that though the city attorney was removed on Monday, he has worked every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday without an affirmative vote of council. And with that, I will entertain the next motion.
I move that we go into executive session for personnel, real estate, and litigation.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? I still have discussion. There is still an active temporary restraining order filed in Fulton County Superior Court. The clerk, the city attorney was properly served with that today. Council has waived their service in favor of city attorney, so in effect, all of council has been availed that there is an active motion. My contention remains, since part of the complaint is that our executive sessions have been handled improperly and in violation of the Open Meetings Act, and because at the end of every executive session, the mayor or his designee, in this case it would be the city manager or the mayor pro tem, will have to sign an affidavit with the state of Georgia that no open meetings laws were violated, to which they will be held legally responsible. I still will not attend the executive session, so I will leave that to you, Mayor Pro Tem Corey A. Reeves from District 5 or City Manager to sign that affidavit, and I will see you all when you return from executive session. With that, Mr. Clerk, please call the vote.
Roll call vote. Councilmember Rao.
Yes.
Councilmember Gomes.
Yes.
Councilmember Willis.
Yes.
Councilmember Sebastian. Councilmember Sebastian.
Yes.
Councilmember Reeves. Councilmember Reeves. Councilmember Williams.
Yes.
Councilmember Reeves. That item was approved 5-0. We are recessed for executive session at 4:21.
Aye.